So I was 19 when I got married. So my entire adult life, I've been like a wife and a mother. And when we moved to Georgia, we had 4 under 4. So they were all babies together. We had 2 little boys that were 18 months apart and then a set of twins. So they were all, it was like a litter. And a whole part of who I became as I became a woman was a mom. And I'm so good at it. There's nobody that's better at it than me. But now the babies are 15. So they're in high school and they're all so talented and they're all so incredible. But, we were great parents. So they're really independent and they're doing that well too. And so I find myself probably the last 3 years, maybe the last 4 years, I've been like, oh my gosh, can we have a new baby? I need a new baby. I need a new baby. And my husband is absolutely not. He's completely over it. But I would do it in a minute. And my friends all think I'm joking, but I'm I could have a new baby. And one, I still feel young, but I just don't even know how to pour all the way if I'm not pouring from the lens of being just a rock star mom. I don't even know, they don't need me anymore. They don't need me to cook dinner. They don't need me. They're just oh, we're at dance and we're going to football and they're living their whole lives. And so it's okay, I guess I need to find something else to do. And so I've even become much more busy. We own a business, very, very demanding business. But there's so much guilt around failing the children. And so anyway, I don't even know what to ask, but I know it's codependent.
What you say? I'm clear.
I'm clear on that.
I'm clear on that.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, because codependency is not a diagnosis, it's not a judgment, it's just a set of habits that we've developed as a coping mechanism, as a means of helping ourselves to feel safe, feel secure, and feel loved. And so that's going to bring me to a quick question that I want to ask. What does the baby represent for you? Having a little one like that, what is it that you get from that?
I don't know if I've ever been present enough to know what it actually feeds me. I think there is a level of success that I know I can have. And I know that a lot of people can't. And people that are smarter or wealthier or stronger or more together, they can't do it like I can do it, right? So maybe that's it. That sounded so petty, but also, I think I said this to somebody the other day, what do I do? Now I've gotten good at this thing and it's over. I did the thing and now it's done. So what do you do with the muscle of it? And how do you, not just relevant, but there's a different love that babies give too. And it's such a dependent love. They need you to literally eat and breathe. But you're the only person that can satisfy it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I kind of miss that. I miss, when I see a baby that is oh, I don't want you, I just want my mom. I'm oh, somebody used to want me like that. They just want you innately, you're the person. And I don't know if that's why I want another one, but I just know that I do, and I always say we were so young and now we could do it and have the expensive stroller, but I don't know if any of that is real. Right? I don't know how real any of it is. I just know that I feel it. I know every time I see a baby, I feel it. Even when they're crying. Yes. And even when it's so real.
Yeah. I think this is very relatable for a lot of women. I'm so serious.
None of my friends, though.
Well, I could tell you that I do believe that there are some women who are absolutely meant to be mothers. You know, I'm not one of them, but there are some women who were absolutely born to, that's not their only purpose, but like that is, like that was one of their deposits on this planet, you know, is to, and my mother is one of them. You know, my mother definitely has gotten a lot of her identity from, she felt so compelled and so convicted, even though my dad didn't necessarily want children, but my mother did. And she felt like that was a part of her journey. That was something she was to contribute to humanity. And so, and to be able to raise responsible, loving, productive people is very fulfilling for her. And I think you hit the nail on the head where you said, I know it's something I can be successful at. Something I can be successful at. And there's not a person on this planet that does not desire to be successful in some way in their life. And that success looks a lot of different ways. You know, for some people, it's business and industry. You know, for other people, it is raising children. You know, for other, but I think the point is, it's giving you meaning. We all want to have some level of success. So I don't think you should, you know, you don't slight yourself for that, because it's normal for us to want to feel like we're contributing to society. But one of the things I know for sure, though, is if it is only in this one area, which does have a little bit of an expiration date to it.
Literally.
You know, it literally has an expiration date to it. That when that goes away, if you attach yourself to that, then your self-worth and self-esteem go with it. And take it from somebody who has seen her mother kind of go through that, where when she got us out, like, there were cousins that she raised.
Literally.
There were, when my sister was in high school, there were her friends who came and lived in our house, you know, because she was constantly plugging in, because she was so good at it. But I think what it didn't give her the opportunity to do now at 80-something is to really explore the essence of who she is and all the other amazing things that she's successful at. Like, my mother's an amazing artist, and I know you're an amazing artistic creator. And so when your time is sort of occupied with raising someone, it detracts from being able to really fully pour into ourselves and to explore all those different areas where you can take that same type of love and bonding and nurture it into something else. You know, my mom right now has been having trouble with her hands, so she's not able to paint and draw in the way that she could have maybe 20, 30 years ago. And I often think, like, man, if she had just realized that she made such a contribution in so many other areas, like how fulfilling that could have been for her. That she had narrowed her lens on what her contribution could be. And you know, I do think that, you know, as a byproduct of that, the world is robbed of your gifts. Your life is robbed of the gifts, you know, because you're not fully developed. You're only developed in one area.
Right.
And so I just want to really encourage you to do a little bit more work on what is it that the baby brings. Like, there is a love. You talked about there's a special love that comes with that. That can be filled in many, many different ways. In many different ways. But also things that you know that you're good at. You know, maybe there's the opportunity to start exploring some other things that you're really good at and that are very fulfilling for you, because the world is waiting with bated breath for that deposit.
Yeah, and with you saying that, it reminds me that, like, I've probably not really contributed as a wife because the label I've given myself is wife and mother.
And mother, yes.
And that's like the wife umbrella that I hold.
Yeah.
And as opposed to like being able to like really be present in the part of wife that doesn't have to do with other people and the needs. Like, if the perfect picture of the vacation wasn't everyone. Right? If the perfect picture of what, you know, the great ending to a great night wasn't movie night, or, you know. So anyway,
No, I love that because it gives you an opportunity to explore greater depths of love and intimacy and sexuality and sensuality in your marriage. You know, and that's just one role that you play. I want to even challenge you to go further to, I haven't explored what the woman is, like who the woman is at this age. Because at 19, let me tell you, you probably are not the same person that you were at 19. You're not. And so I don't know that you know her. You know, I don't know that you fully know her and what she truly desires and what she looks forward to, because it's always been, well, what do the kids need? What do they like? What did, from food to, time to go to bed or what have you. And so there's this beautiful open space for you to get it's not a do-over, but to go beyond just the limitations or the parameter. And let me just say this piece before we wrap, is our children don't become who we tell them to be. What they see is what they'll be. And so what would you tell your daughters, right, in this life? Are you asking her, I know you have at least one daughter, are you asking them to only niche themselves down to one area, or are you encouraging them to expand and find themselves in the fullest breadth of who they can be, who they are meant to be?
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy about that? I feel like I do a really great job at it, but I think it's really hard because I'm not modeling it.
That's my
always
point.
like, I see my daughter like showing up like me. And I'm always like, you don't have to do that. You don't do that, and there's some areas where she won't, like, I'm a people pleaser and she could care less, and like there's some areas where she's very fully, like, she's much more fully expressed. However, I do think I'm trying to teach her, like ways to be okay with just doing things that please her without looking for, she's a performer, so part of her job is reactions, and like she can manipulate a crowd, right? She can get a whole crowd to tears or get them all laughing. I mean, I've never seen it, but it does rely on a certain level of responsiveness to their needs. And I feel so responsive to everyone's needs that, like, maybe she's learned that part of the trade, but maybe she's learned that part of the way that I've modeled it. And I have got so much work to do so that she's not learning. She's not learning from the way that I walk. You know what I mean? Because I say one thing, I say it all the time.
I get it.
But I know it's hard. It's got to be hard for her to, like, don't care what they think. Or, you know what I mean? It's just so much of that's got to be hard because if you've met me, like, it's like I have the biggest smile all the time so that everyone else is smiling. And if I'm not in service, I don't even feel like I've done, like, if I've not made sure that you felt better because you've experienced whatever, like, I don't even know where it even stops. So I know that that's some work that I have to, and I appreciate kind of you reminding me that there's the full circleness of it.
There's the full circle and the opportunity to truly model what it is that you want to see in your daughter and in the world with women. Because I know you're helping to build amazing brands out there, and it's okay for women to go and take care of themselves, prioritize themselves. So my challenge for you, I'm gonna give you a couple.
Okay.
First one is to take a weekend that is just for you. It doesn't include anyone else, not your spouse, not your children, not your extended family, not your girlfriends. Just you. 2 days. That's it. 2 days. And see what comes up for you. And to do it as a kind of an away, a little bit of an away. You don't have to go far if you don't want, but a little bit of an away so that you can meet her. So that you can meet her. And I'm pretty confident that your spouse will support that. So that's one. And then the second thing is to take my codependency quiz, because that is going to give you a good indication. There's some questions in there that I think once you start answering them will give you a good indication as to how the codependent patterns may be showing up in other areas of your life, because they can be very clever, very, very sneaky in the way that they show up in our life, at home, at work, and in the bedroom. And so for the viewers, all you have to do is look below and click that link, which will take you directly to a 3 to 5 minute free quiz where you too can learn whether or not some of the decisions that you've been making are being guided by codependency. And then I want to invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to make some comments, because I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear some of your comments, questions, and concerns, and then maybe we can even get you here in the studio just like we have here today. I love having these rich conversations about real world scenarios. I can give you examples of clients all day long, but when you hear from them firsthand, it is so relatable. So I want to hear from you. Moreover, thanks for joining in today. I want to remind you that today is the day that we take back, transform, and begin to win at the game called life. Thanks so much for joining in. This has been memorable and cherished. There are so many women who are going to just gleam from these words of wisdom and your journey. So thanks for being vulnerable with the team. I'm Tracey Knight, and I'm your codependency coach. I'll see you soon.